I sold 14 homes my first year. And obviously it doesn't sound like a lot, but at the time, most agents in my office weren't selling much at all. A lot of the newer people I started with, there were two or three other newer people that started with me at the same time that went through the classes, started at that brokerage. They didn't sell anything in their first year, but I sold 14 and I did it without a database. I did it without knowing the area, did it without any experience. It was just pure hustle. I didn't have an option. I had to try to bring in some income and I had to just do what I was told. I would just work these trash leads, try to convert them any way I knew how. And then eventually those trash leads turned into deals. And eventually those turned into referrals. And then I started becoming known around the office as somebody who would take your trash leads and convert them. There were probably 6 or 8 different agents in the office sending me leads regularly, just people they didn't want to follow up with. I told everybody, hey, I'm starting this investor meetup the first Thursday of each month at 6:30. Would you come to my first meeting? And I had such a hard time like getting previous to this, just appointments with people in general, retail buyers, sellers. But when I made this introduction to everybody, it just felt like such an easier way to lead generate for me. And I had 44 people show up that night, the very first meeting I put on. My head was just spinning afterwards because I was just like, holy crap, the amount of effort it took me to do that one meeting was nothing compared to if I was to try to get 44 appointments with random buyers or sellers and then ask for their business, while they're trying to pay attention to looking at a house. At the time, doing that first investor meetup, it just seemed like a no-brainer that I should put all my focus on this. So I just made that my one and only thing. My one thing was to do that meeting once a month, try to get people to come. And it was all about client acquisition and retention. And then out of that, over the years, almost all of my businesses come from that and referrals. I think people that are willing to just take action are going to be just fine. I think those that are really focusing on what is the market going to do, they're probably going to struggle. That's just my personal opinion. I think no matter what, there's going to be real estate transactions and you can get in front of it or you can try to wait it out, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'd like to hear your opinion.
Well, Chase loves to give predictions, so
I think you're right, Nick. I think that those that are willing to take action but are paying close attention to those deals making sense from day one are going to be just fine, investors for that matter. I think that, folks that are buying a home are going to be just fine, assuming that they can afford it and they're buying it long term. They're not trying to, speculate, because I think real estate's always a great long-term investment. But, speculation can get you in big trouble. Those that are taking action in the retail market are going to be those that have a true motivation, right? A life event that's causing them to need to buy or sell more so than anyone who's maybe rate sensitive, as an example, right? If you're just thinking about it and you don't really need to, then maybe now's not the best time for you. But if you're getting a divorce or you're getting married or you're having a kid or your kids are moving out or someone dies, all the things, right? Then all of a sudden the rates mean nothing to you. You have a true need. And the more we can look to help and serve those people during this time, the better off we'll be.
Yeah. And I also try to think like, what's the alternative? Are people just going to rent then? Have uncontrollable rent raises that may match what a mortgage is going to be? And if you're an investor, what else are you going to invest in? Is there a better investment out there? Like, is crypto it?
No, I don't think so.
What's wrong with buying a house still and renting it out, have somebody else pay it off and getting all the tax depreciation? I mean, none of that. I don't think any of that's changing. I think real estate still, as far as the research I've done, I still think it's one of the best investments you can get into. Seems like there's still a lot of demand for it. Even though rates are high, you just got to change your strategy, put more cash down, make the deal make sense.